We discussed earlier, if you have minus 3 all in brackets multiplied by a, what this will become is minus 3 dot a, which is minus 3a. Multiplication has a way of bringing two things together, whether they are like terms or they are non-like terms. Multiplication is so powerful. It's the only thing that can pull things together to themselves. So let's see if we have minus 8 multiplied by minus a. Okay, this will become, first your negative sign will multiply themselves out before the numbers will multiply themselves out. Remember what we did about multiplication? It's going to give us plus 8a. That's what we're going to get as our answer. So it is possible to group things, and it is possible to expand them at the same time. So we'll be looking at expansion proper in a long term. Now what if I have minus x all in brackets, it's going to multiply 3, that will become minus 3x. Why is it going to be minus 3x? I thought the sign actually belonged to minus. Yes, because 3 is now being grouped with x, the sign comes before all the group. Remember the way it is, you have your sign first before any number, before an alphabet. So this is how numbers have been arranged. If I have 3 minus x, if I want to arrange it, it becomes minus 3x. First the sign, then the number and the alphabet. Multiplication is grouping all of them together. So that's exactly what we're having here. Let's wipe this off. Now let's pick some quick examples. When I say look at some examples here. If I say x, y, what that simply means is x times y. For them to be merged together, it shows that there's a multiplication sign between them, right? So for instance, I say 3 pi arrow. This is the same as 3 times pi times r. So the only time you see things being merged together, being joined together, being attached together, it shows there is a multiplication sign between them. When you see two unlike terms attached together, you should know that there's a multiplication sign between them. So let's say, for instance, they said half base height. That is the area of a triangle. Now what this simply means is half times base times height. So you should know how to expand all this and be able to solve problems with it. Supposing I say if, let's see this example, if 3pq is a value for if 3pq is a formula, let me come this way now. If 3pq is a formula, find the value when p is equal to 2 and q is equal to 5. Now let's see, our solution here becomes, we have 3pq, which is 3 times p times q. Now I have p to be 2, q to be 5. This will become 3 times 2 times 5, because your q is 5, and that's going to be 30 in all. So the value is, find the value when this the value for that formula is 30. Whatever unit it has, just put it there. So the next thing we'll be talking about is the expansion of brackets. Now we'll take a little further to expansion with brackets. If I have a in brackets 3 plus c, this will become, now what is outside this bracket is going to multiply everything inside the bracket. So this outside the bracket is multiplying this, and is also multiplying this, so inside the bracket. So you have a times 3, okay, because it multiplies 3 first, plus, bring that plus sign, a times c. So it's going to multiply them separately, and I only use this bracket to actually separate them, and that's going to be 3a plus ac. So you have 3a plus ac, which is your final answer. I have just expanded this bracket. Now I may have an example here, and it says expand 3 brackets x plus y. Let's see what our solution becomes. Okay, let me clean this off. That was my... Alright, let's see what the solution becomes. It's going to be, you're using 3 to multiply everything inside the brackets, and it goes 3x plus 3y. So that's our final answer. That's what we're getting for this very value. We'll pick another example. This time around we're going to look at two values. 2a multiply 5 plus 3a. Alright, still on course. We are using everything outside bracket to multiply everything inside bracket, and this becomes 2a multiply 5 plus, bring that plus sign, it goes into this other one, also becomes 2a multiply 3a, and this will become 2a times 5a is the same as saying 2 times a times 5. That's for this part. This is a term on its own, plus 2a is 2 times a times 3a, which is 3 times a. This is another term. Now let's see what this will give us. We can rearrange. You remember multiplication has a distributive property, so I can say this is 10a plus, now I'm going to say all the a goes to one side. You have 2 times 3, 6. A times a is a square, so 6 times a square, and that is giving me 10a plus 6a square. Now listen, you cannot add because this is 10a and this is 6a square. A square is a different value from a, so you don't add them together. So this is what you're going to get in your final answer. We'll take another example, and this time around it says 5 all in brackets u plus v. Okay, I want to expand, and what I'm going to get here is 5 multiplies everything outside bracket. You have 5 times u plus 5 times v, and that will become 5u plus 5v. So this is your final answer. Remember, they cannot add up themselves. You leave that there. Now we're going to look at the case of using two values in a bracket to multiply another value in a bracket. Now let's go into solving more equations with this proper. Let's say, for example, we are given a value as 12x minus 2 bracket 4x plus 5. Now remember, this expression does not have an equal to, so you are not solving for x. It is just an expression. Anytime you have an algebra that does not have equal to, it becomes an expression. So here we are going to have this as this one is on its own, this is a term on its own, 12x. Now this is what we are subtracting, but the value here is minus 2. Remember, a sign always comes before the number. Any sign you see before a number, it is that number that has it. So you are going to use minus 2 to multiply everything out in the bracket, and that becomes minus 2 times 4 becomes minus 8x. Okay, and then you bring down your plus sign. Minus 2 times 5 will be minus 10. Of course, you're going to see that this sign will definitely be influenced later on. Now this is what we're going to have. We have 12x minus 8x. Now plus minus, two signs that you need to resolve. They don't go attached together. You don't always work with two signs that are attached together, so you have to resolve that, and it becomes minus plus is minus, so you have minus 10. Now I can pick up like terms. These two can actually work themselves out because they are the same terms. So I have 12x minus 8x, which is 4x. So 4x minus 10 is what I'm having as my final answer, because this cannot solve further. This is a different term from this very one. The same way you can do for any other question you come across. If for instance the question is let's see this example 2. it says simplify 6a minus b minus 3a plus 2b. Alright, let's see what we're going to get in this case. First and foremost, let me split this into 2 so that we won't get confused. Alright, that part is on its own now, and I'll just go solve this. First is to expand this very one here. The first step will be to expand this very one here, and it becomes 6 multiply everything in the brackets. You have 6a minus 6b. Now minus 3 multiply this, you have minus 3a. Minus 3 multiply 2b, you have minus 6b. That's what you're going to have. You can start to pick up like terms. My 6a will sort its own like term, which is minus 3a, sorry. Then you have minus 6b sorting out its own like terms, which is minus 6b again. Alright, we can proceed further here, and now I'm going to have 6a minus 3a, which is 3a. Now I have minus 6b. Remember, this minus sign belongs to the 6b here, and this other one belongs to the second 6b. Minus 6b minus 6b will give us minus 12b. We did that before now. Whenever you have minus minus, you add, but the sign for the biggest number affects your answer. So you have this as your final answer. Now I could just take some more examples. Alright, so take another example here, and it says simplify 2 brackets a minus 3b plus 3 brackets a minus b. So what we are simplifying is this, and my solution would be solution here. I have 2 brackets a minus 3b plus 3 brackets a minus b. That would be equal to, my 2 is going to multiply everything out in the bracket, so I have 2a minus 6b. Remember, it multiplies it to give 2a. 2 times minus 3b will give minus 6b, and plus 3 multiply a will give us plus 3a, plus 3 multiply minus b will give you minus 3b. So what we notice here is that if you have a positive sign for the number you're using to multiply a bracket, the value of the sign in your bracket does not change. It's only when you have a negative sign outside here that it changes the value. We're going to see more of that in subsequent examples. So this becomes 2a, let it sort out it like term, plus 3a, that's all. Then you go for the b, minus 6b minus 3b. Alright, these two add up themselves, you have 5a, so this is finally equal to 5a. Then minus 6b minus 3b will give us minus 9b. The reason is minus minus is plus. The big number here carries a minus sign, so your answer carries a minus sign too. So you go this way, this is exactly what you're getting for that problem. We can still take another example, and this one here says simplify. This is another example, and it says simplify 10t minus 8 bracket 3 minus t. Alright, let's quickly do this. We'll see that my solution here will be 10t minus 8. I'm writing the question bracket 3 minus t. Now I'm going to expand these parts. I have my 10t, which is a term there that is not to be touched, and minus 8 times 3 will become minus 20. Is it 20 or 32? Minus 24. Now minus 8 times minus t, you see there's a minus sign here. It's going to affect the sign in the bracket, which becomes plus 8t. And this becomes, if I collect my like terms, 10t plus 8t minus 4. That's on its own. Now I'm going to get 18t minus 24. Of course, I cannot add this 2, so I'll leave this as my final answer because there are two different terms once again. Now here we are going to quickly look at the third case of brackets, which is we're going to look at expanding expressions of the form two brackets. So we'll just take some few examples and we'll get to what we're talking about. If you have an expression with two brackets, a plus 3 multiplying another bracket 3 minus b. Now what we do is this: we're going to use the first term here in the first bracket. We'll multiply out everything in this bracket, and next we use the second term to multiply everything out again in the same brackets. So that's what you do. You first use the first term to multiply second term. If you have 3 terms, fine, use the 3 as the case may be. But this case we are going to be limiting it to just 2. So what's going to be our solution here? Let's see. Our solution here will be, I may want to rewrite the question: a plus 3 bracket 3 minus b, which means I will first of all take the first term, which is a times 3. You have 3a, then a times b minus b, you have minus ab. Now plus 3 times 3 will give us plus 9, plus 3 times minus b will give us minus 3b. Now if there's any way I could collect like terms, fine. If I can't, I'll just rearrange it very well, which is 3a. There's no one here that has a again except for ab. Ab is not a single term a, so you cannot add. 3a minus ab plus 9 minus 3b. So we'll just leave our answer like that because actually there's no like terms to add or subtract. We'll just take that as our final answer. I may want to take some other example, assuming I have another example as example 2. This time around, let's say we are having y in bracket plus 1, y minus 1. Now let's see what we are going to do here. First, we use the first sign to multiply out everything in the bracket. So we have y square, that's y times y for this one. Then for this and this, you have minus 1y. Then you're beginning with this other one. From this with this, you have plus 1y. This with this, you have minus 1. Now this will become y square minus 1y is y plus 1y is y minus 1. Now there's something very interesting here. Y square minus y plus y is 0, so minus 1 here, and this is y square minus 1 as my final answer. I'll just take it and leave it there. Now we may want to take another example. And it says simplify a minus 3b bracket a plus 2b. Alright, let's see here. The solution for this is simple. We just bring it down. First becomes a minus 3b a plus 2b. Now this a will go into the first two term. Here I'm going to have a times a is a square, then a times 2b is plus 2ab. I have to put a before b according to the alphabet code. A comes before b. Now the second value here is minus 3b that I'm using, so I have minus 3b times a will be minus 3ab still, and minus 3b times plus 2b will be minus 6b square. That's if this goes into this and this. So what am I having? I'm having a square, no like them, plus 2ab. Is there any other 2ab? Yeah, minus 3ab. Any other? No. Then minus 6b square. Let's see, these are the only two like terms here, so I'm going to have a square plus 2ab minus 3ab will be minus 1ab. Check that out. This is plus 2ab minus 3ab. It is the coefficient actually that you take note of what you're doing here. It's the coefficient that you add. So far you identify your like terms, you just add up the coefficient. Now plus 2 minus 3 is minus 1, so minus 1ab. Then minus 6b square. Now this is going to give us our final answer as a square minus ab, because 1ab is same as ab, minus 6b square. I may just quickly look at some illustration. Anytime you're adding like terms, say you have 7a plus 12a. What you do is, as long as you've identified the like term, it is the coefficients that actually determines the answer. That's what you add up. 7 plus 12 is 19, so it becomes 19a. Okay, once you identify it as your like terms, then you just add up the coefficients. Then secondly, anything that has coefficient of 1, like 1b, it can be represented as that same thing without a coefficient. So usually when you say a number without a coefficient, the coefficient there is 1, imaginary 1. Just the same way you say about plus, that whenever you see a number that does not have a sign, then the sign is an imaginary plus. Only this happens for numbers that are beginning the expression, not when they are within the expression. Like this very case, you have a minus 3a. The sign here should be assumed to be plus. That's the reason why at the end of the day, when you subtract it, plus minus is minus, you're going to get minus 2a as your final answer. So these are the things you take note of in this illustration. Whenever you have like terms and you're adding up or subtracting, it is the coefficient of the like terms that you take into consideration. Then whenever you have a coefficient with a value with a coefficient of 1, that value can be represented without a coefficient, and it's the same.
Undying love you've given to me, seen in me things I would never have seen. I don't understand why you care so much. It's all a mystery. Time and time again I ask myself, what have I done to deserve such wealth? The price you pay I can never repay. Your generosity in wanting to save me, in order to save the day. Because of love you place yourself in harm's way. It's truly beyond me, left without a word to say. What kind of love would place itself in harm's way? What kind of love would place itself in harm's way? When I was down, you came back.